Hi, I'm Cathy Thomas, Shachi Mehra, owner and executive chef at ADYA in the Anaheim Packing District and founder of Spice Girl Sauces, joins me to share the secrets of her lamb koftas with Shachi's tomato chutney. So lucky to get a close-up lesson with a master of spice-driven flavors. Oh, welcome, Chef. You're using one of your Spice Girl sauces in this delicious recipe, right?
Yes, so today we're making a lamb kofta, which we're gonna coat with the tomato chutney from Shachi's Spice Girl Sauces. The lamb kofta is super easy. We can make it as an appetizer like we're doing today. You can make them larger and eat them with sauce or a sandwich or over rice. It's a delicious, super easy, super flavorful recipe.
I can hardly wait. Let's get started.
We have a half a pound of ground lamb here, and we are gonna add red onion.
I love red onion.
We're gonna add minced garlic, and we're gonna add minced ginger, and I'm gonna pause for a second just to talk about ginger. I have a little trick
Okay.
on how to peel it. You can use a spoon and peel it really, really easily.
And a lot of people actually eat the skin. They
If
leave
you
it
wash it,
unpeeled.
if you scrub it well
Yeah.
enough, you
Yeah.
can, yes. For some dishes, I'll leave it on, like if I'm gonna puree the ginger, but if it's minced, I like to peel it. We're gonna add a little bit of minced serrano. If you're shy about heat, you can leave them out or take the seeds and the membranes out. We're gonna add a little bit of ground coriander and crushed fennel seed.
And how'd you crush your fennel seed?
I actually have a second coffee grinder at my house. One's just for coffee and one's just for spices, and I pulsed it in there. And I feel like that's the best way to grind spices, is to have a second coffee grinder, but don't mix them up.
No.
The other thing I can tell you about that is if you grind something that's very fragrant and it leaves its sort of this smell in the grinder, if you grind raw white rice in it, it'll take
good
out
to
that
know.
smell.
And what was this last thing you put in?
Cilantro. I added chopped cilantro in there.
Nice.
And one thing about cilantro, I found out recently, a lot of people have been cutting off the stems and pulling the leaves off. But if you love cilantro like I love cilantro, you want to make sure that you cut the stems very small because all the flavor is in the stems. And salt, we're using kosher salt.
Indeed.
I'm just going to go ahead and use my hands to mix it so that it's evenly mixed.
It's the best way, isn't it?
It is the best way. You just make sure that everything's sort of evenly distributed.
Can I mix this in advance?
If you wanted to do it in advance, you could do everything else, but add the onion before.
Okay.
Definitely, you can make these in the morning.
Okay.
And serve them for dinner. When you form these, you want to make sure that they're tightly bound so that they don't break, because there isn't any binder.
And you're
in here.
squeezing and rolling.
Yes. For me, it's something that I did as a kid, but with sweets in India, there's a thing called laddu, and this is the sort of the process in which you form it. So you need to squeeze it so that it holds together.
You're amazing at knowing just how much to grab because your meatballs are all the same size.
So the trick is they're actually the size of my hand.
Ah.
So I'm only grabbing enough as fits in a fistful for me. And that way they're all the same size. The other thing you could use is like a tiny ice cream scoop that you would use for cookies or something. You could scoop them all out and then roll them and squeeze them.
It looks therapeutic to me.
It
You
is.
could be singing a song and doing this.
Yeah, there's music in the background in my head right now. So like if you see that I picked this up, but it's too big,
Yeah.
so I take a little bit off. And then I've also made them and added cooked quinoa, and it just adds a level of texture and extra nutrition. It doesn't detract from the flavor. You could change the herbs if you want. So if you don't like cilantro, you could add parsley.
So, Shachi, how many are we going to end up with?
We are gonna end up with 12 and a little taster buddy.
Oh, I love it. That's for the cook.
That's for the cook.
The oven is at 400 degrees, and we're going to bake these for about 10 minutes.
So these just came out of the oven, so they're warm still. This part up to here you could do ahead of time and then add the sauce in later. We're using Shachi's tomato chutney, which has fennel seed, which sort of mimics what's happening here flavor-wise. It does have onion seed and cumin and mustard. So it's sweet, savory, a little bit tangy. It's got a lot of stuff going on. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna pair really well with the koftas. Just let it come up to a simmer. We're just gonna add these in and make sure they're coated. Let them sort of co-mingle with the sauce for a few minutes. And if we're serving later, we can just leave them in the sauce and then heat them up really quickly before we serve.
That's a good tip.
And the sauce consistency is great because it sticks to the kofta, so each one is coated with sauce, so you get a real mouthful of a lot of different flavors.
Oh, yum.
So you just want to have enough sauce so it's not making a mess on anyone's clothes, but it's adding flavor and moisture. We can garnish with a little cilantro if we want. Since we're serving it like a cocktail party, we're gonna put a toothpick in them.
Oh, Chef, I'm so hungry I can hardly wait.
Yeah, they smell amazing.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. This was such a pleasure.
Here's a quick tip from Melissa's. I'm in a rut when it comes to weekday breakfast. I know my body needs protein to start the day. So Monday through Friday, I generally eat an egg. But hummus is a good choice too. Garbanzo beans are a good source of plant-based protein. The food processor makes short work of the prep. Add garbanzos, a little oil, tahini, juice, paprika, and/or cumin, and salt. Then puree until very smooth, adding some garbanzo liquid if needed to attain the desired consistency. Taste it, adjust the seasoning. For breakfast or even lunch, add sliced tomatoes, cucumber, olives, and whole wheat toast to the plate. Good for me, delicious.